Alright guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make this $29 top handle for your C70 so you can throw out this gross one that comes in the box with it. So I've been shooting with the C70 now for quite a few weeks, nearly 2 months actually, and the one thing that really annoys me is this handle that they brought in the box. So, I mean, it's good, it's okay, it does the job, but you can't really add anything to it. Like, it just feels super plasticky and cheap, and it's got this like weird rough texture to it, so I don't know, it's not like, it doesn't feel that great to use. Although the camera does balance quite well with this on, and when you're shooting, if you want to add say like a monitor to it, you have to use this cold shoe mount, and it's just not a very secure way of adding accessories to this handle. So instead of waiting around for the big brands to come out with their own one specific for the C70, I've just made my own for $29, and although it's not perfect and it's kind of a little bit janky, it does a really good job and it allows you to add way more accessories to the handle. Now the main reason I actually made this handle was because I wanted to add a monitor to my C70, because although the C70 screen is actually quite good, like it's quite bright and it's quite sharp, it is quite small as well, and I wanted to add something like this Cine A6 Pro so I have a bigger display when I'm actually shooting. The other benefit of this handle is that it has a freaking ton of threads in it, so you can mount a whole bunch of different accessories. So like, I've mounted my monitor on it, but if you want to add like a microphone or something, you can just thread something in there. Like, there's just a whole host of different things you can do with these threads. And again, it's not 100% perfect, it's not like 100% balanced with different lenses and whatnot, but the fact that you get access to those threads and you can add extra accessories on is a win for me. Now at the time of filming this, Small Rig just actually announced their own kit for the C70, and it includes a top plate, a bottom plate, and a handle, but it's not available to the 22nd of March, and it also costs $129 US. So if you want something in the meantime until these bigger brands actually bring out their specific accessories for the C70, or you just want to save some pennies and have a handle that does a pretty good job, then this is for you. Now to actually build this handle, it's actually super duper simple. You'll just need a UU Rig R005, which you can find on Amazon. I will leave some links down below so you can just click on it and go straight to Amazon. And yes, this is an affiliate link, but everything that I get from Amazon actually just goes back in this channel. So every time you click on a link down there, it's just helping support this channel and helping it grow. Then you also need a drill bit. I used a 6mm drill bit, but I just kind of like ream it out a bit to get that 1/4" screw through. So a 6.5mm would probably be a better option. And then just a 1/4" screw, and I'll probably recommend a spring washer as well, because I haven't used one, but mine kind of came loose a couple of times, so that'll just help it stay tight. Now looking at the original C70 handle, it has a 1/4" screw and then this little plastic bit that actually insets into the hot shoe mount on the C70, so that's why I chose this UU Rig handle, because it has a little section that actually goes into the hot shoe mount, and then with a little bit of modification we can add that 1/4" screw to then go through and mount to the camera. Okay, so unfortunately I actually have misplaced all the footage of me actually building this. So drilling it out and making the handle. I'm so sorry to everyone that was waiting for that. I have no idea where it's gone. I checked all my cards, I don't know. So I'm going to kind of use photos and use arrows and stuff to try help you understand it. Hopefully it makes sense. If not, let me know in the comments below and I'll answer any questions that you have. Let's get back to it. I am so sorry. So firstly, we just have to remove this screw bit on top of the handle. Mine was really tight, so I just got a pair of vice grips and just kind of reefed it off there. Must use like thread locker or something to keep it in there. And then once it's off, you can drill out the holes on the handle and the cold shoe mount to be big enough to fit that 1/4" screw. Now when you first take it apart, there is a little spring in there as well. I just threw it away because it's not going to stay together anyway, and it's not going to be big enough for that 1/4" screw to go through anyway. Then we just put it all back together, slot it into the hot shoe on the camera and tighten down the screw. And that's it. Now, like I said, I didn't actually use a spring washer on mine, but I recommend doing it because it will just hold that tension and allow it so it doesn't actually come loose when you're using it. And also be very careful not to actually over tighten this, because you don't want to damage that 1/4" screw in the hot shoe mount on the C70. Now, although this handle does have those 3 cold shoe mounts at the back, they're kind of useless because that's where my hand usually is. I mean, if you can figure out a way to use it, then that's great. But the main thing I use this for is to have those 1/4" screw holes on the actual front, so I can mount like a monitor and a mic and all that other stuff. Plus, I noticed the hole in the handle is big enough to fit like a standard rod in there, so if you want to add a rod to add other accessories, then you can also do that as well. Now, honestly, since making this, it has not come off my camera. Like, it's just super duper handy, and I've accessorized it with the Cine A6 Pro, and then a little like Nicey Rig HDMI clamp just to make it nice and tidy, and I absolutely love it. It is so good. And with the monitor up the front, it actually balances the camera a bit better, and because it adds a little bit more weight to the camera, you get less of those micro jitters, so it actually helps with that as well. Alright guys, if if you did enjoy this video, then consider liking and subscribing. And if you actually make this rig, then tag me on Instagram at AndrewMurphyWA down here, I think it is. I'd love to see what you guys make and what you actually use it for and how you actually accessorize it as well. I think that'd be really cool. And as always, stay creative and just be you. See ya.